Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Catfish Weekly. I am your main host, the Chad, with my co-host, the Lyle. Together, we are Chalile. Tonight, we are honored and blessed to have Michelle's husband, Tom, from LGBASS. What's going on this evening, Mr. Tom?
Not much. It's nice to be on here with you, July.
That might have been a mistake. That might have been a mistake.
July, I like that.
He'll second guess himself now for making me start the show out. Lyle, let's say hi to some of our awesome people that are in here, though. What do you say?
I think that's good.
All right. I've got 3+1 outdoors. We have the Anglerholics, Miss Lizabella, avid fisherman, Bobcat Outdoors, Mark from Catfishing Crappie, who will be on right after this with Christina Lemke, Woman of the Woods and Waters. So tune in to Mr. Mark. We've got Catfish Fever and Outdoors, Catfishing with Koss, Cat Life Outdoors. That's a new one. Central Valley Adventures, Chucky Morgan, Miss Cindy Stokes, the most wonderful Missourian that ever lived.
Suck up.
I got to. You guys make her think I hate Missouri. We got Creole Catfishing, Dale Hayslip, Dan Thompson, Fishing in Freedom, Fishing with the Squirrel, Fishing the Rut, Get Hooked on Deep Fishing, Michelle, It's All Mine. Heard she's got was it jambalaya that she made it? She got a video out with jambalaya, making some jambalaya.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
We got
Came out this
Jason
morning.
Lamb, Jay Fox Hunter, John Patrick Jr., Lance McCouguy, Laura the Explorer, Mad Catter, Catfishing, Mike Irvin, Muskrat Adventures, Northeast Kansas Fisherman, Parker Pursuits, Miss Pontoon Jody, seen Mr. Gadget Fishing just popped in. We got Sean Abney, Real Time Catfishing, Sherman Tomlinson, Stonefly 71, Wabash Nate, Whiskers and Stripes. Let me go back up through here. We got Troy from Real and Virtual Outdoors just popped in. Jacob Hegney, Kevin Baker Nuts and Bolts, El Gato Azul TV, Catfish Regulators, and Bobcat Outdoors. And I see Mr. L2 Stands is in here as well.
Stan actually had a comment about maybe we could get Tom to change his name.
Oh, that's going to be a topic tonight.
Okay.
That is, I did make it. Look, this is all the notes that I made to ask Tom. But, yeah, that's on my list. Because I think Tom knows that I've been trying to get him to change it to a specific name for quite some time.
Specific name. Okay. Did you say David Smith and Mike Greenwell and Creole and Van?
I didn't. I think I got all of those except for Van. Or maybe Creole was the only one I said. I don't remember.
There's Miss
I'm old.
Glad to see Rebecca in here tonight. Northeast Missouri Anglers, Annette Morgan. I think you done good. Oh, there's your buddy Brian B.
He used to be my buddy. And Lyle, I think we're starting to lose a little bit of audio from you. We can hear you, but you're a little low.
How about that?
I think you're good.
Okay.
All right. We got the Bullock Experience. What's up, Kelly? Sogo, Don R. And I think we're pretty much caught up. I went through the list, but we got people coming in, of course. Uncle Josh from the One Ton Fishing Club. And all right. I think we're say that one more time, sir.
I checked it. It says I got plenty, but we'll see how it works out. If we have ever have any issues like that, and anybody's listening in chat, don't hesitate to say, "Hey, Chad looks like Dockery," or it. You know, he can't hear one of us or something. You know. Speaking of Dockery, I see that you have his image behind you there on the. Yeah,
he's always in the bait shop.
If he could look like he catches fish, maybe you could tell me the secret to him catching fish.
Oh, you want to know the secret to him catching fish?
Yeah.
Well, he told me not to tell anybody, but Dockery is so tiny of a person that he's basically the same size as the fish that he's catching, so that they kind of just gravitate to him.
So
it's like they see eye to eye. They're about the same height, most of them. So yeah, he's a tiny little fella.
I can't wait to see these emojis coming here in a little bit. It's going to be great.
That's all right.
Tom,
it wouldn't be the first time.
No, it would not. We're so glad to have you on the show with us tonight, Tom. I know that Chad's got a bunch of questions. I'm going to let him go ahead and ask them to you. And then if he doesn't cover everything that I have and he has, maybe I'll have one at the end.
All right.
All right. Well, obviously, Tom, you're fairly new to crossing over. I've heard your story time and time again that you were better than Kevin Van Dam for many, many years. You were, Jimmy Houston looked up to you when it came to bass fishing and all that kind of stuff. Thus your name, LGBASS. But, you made the crossover to catfishing, about a year and a half ago?
Yep, when the COVID started. When they canceled all my
about 2 years now.
I'm sorry, what's that?
So almost 2 years now you've been over, started catfishing. So are you hooked yet?
Yes.
Are you?
I've come to learn over the last 2 years that as my body is aging, I just turned 58 last week.
I did never get it, sir. 38 maybe.
Yeah. But I just don't think I have the stamina to stand up on a trolling motor for 8, 9, 10 hours a day in the hot sun and bobbing up and down in the waves. I just got to liking that throwing your rods out and sitting back in the chair.
Hey, I bank fished almost all my entire life until about 3 years ago when I finally got my boat and started learning that, the different techniques of catfishing there. But I've spent many, many days and nights on a bankside of chairs, basically sleeping. So,
I have a brand new bass boat sitting in the driveway that probably only has the 20 hours of break-in on it that hasn't moved since I started this.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, Michelle says she likes that boat, so you're keeping it.
She does, yeah. She likes it.
There you go.
She likes looking out the window in it because she likes to see it out there outside the bedroom window in the driveway.
Awesome.
Well, does she not know how much more comfortable a catfish boat would be?
Well, let's put it this way. A while back, this goes back maybe 10 years, remember, so she thought maybe we should buy a pontoon boat. And I said, well, why do we want a pontoon boat? And she said, so like when you go out fishing, you can put the pontoon in the water and, hook a rope up to it and you can drag it out to where I want to go and sit for the day. And then you can go fish and come back and drag me back in. I said, well, why don't you just come with me? She said, I don't want to do that.
He just wants a floating barge to lounge around on. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We got a bunch more people that's jumped in here with us. Kevin, Palmetto Cats, 3+1, Mike Sampson. Jody has joined us. Bill of Wright's fishing. Uncle Josh, Fat Boy Eric fishing. Fishing Local 336, Mike Irwin. Dieter Melhorn has arrived. Prepare yourself. Jeremy Coven. Did I get them all? Brad Cottle. Clearview Outdoors. Fishing with the Squirrel. I'm trying to
believe so. I believe so. Did you get Nephew Austin?
I did not, but welcome.
I seen Nephew Austin and Boar. Yep, just said hi to Skip. Jimmy Graham, Hooks and Hammocks.
Oh, there's Chris.
But so Tom, here's my big question for you. Two questions for you. I'm going to lead up. Hold on. So last year you set a goal of 365, which you beat. By how many?
21. Ended up at 386.
That's a hell of a year, man.
That's a great year of catfishing. You know,
When I look at some of the other guys in the community, and there's guys that caught a heck of a lot more fish than me. Like even certainly Dockery crushed me. But I'm new to this, and bank space is limited, and the majority of our fish came off my own dock.
yeah. That's the thing. Like, I can tell you last year that I didn't catch as many fish as you did. So, and I actually have never kept count of it in my life until last year. I actually kept a log of mine, and you beat me by quite a bit. So, I know a lot of people in chat are not surprised to hear that, but that's nothing. Almost 400 catfish in a year. That's a
lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish. It really is. So
we put in a lot of time. It's like when you see like Chunky, like when he had the Do You Has What It Takes, and he caught 30 fish in 5 hours, or what I think the tournament was. That's just fish every like 10 minutes. So we don't have that kind of fishing here. We seem to, when we averaged it out between Aaron and I, we probably averaged a fish an hour when we'd fish from Friday morning when Aaron got here till Saturday morning, and the only break we'd take was to come up for dinner, and if Michelle didn't send it down to us. But it seems like we caught a lot of fish, but there was a lot of time invested. It wasn't an easy struggle.
Yeah, no, I agree, because a fishing hours are pretty good when it comes to catfish. And you're going to have hours where they're boom, 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 and then you'll wait for 2-3 hours for another bite. So I'm still curious, though. What's the goal for 2022? Is it higher than 2021, or we keep it at the same?
I did the 365. I came up with it. I said, let's see it. And I didn't even have any idea if I could do it. We had been fishing over at Kerr Lake last winter when this all started. And we fished there until very end of April, when we finally started coming to Gaston, when the bite had turned off over there. And but it was slow going. The first couple of months, February was the very end of January, where we are right now, and February was brutal. And then it started to pick up in March, and kind of caught fire. And then when the heat of the summer came, it turned off, and we had 3-4 skunks in a row, I think, and where we had put in a lot of time and got nothing, not even a nibble. And so somewhere around October, it just caught fire, and I would go down there in the evening by myself. We got into a pattern here where the lake would start pulling water around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd go down there and they'd run it until like 8. So there'd be 3 hours of moving water, and I catch 8 or 9 fish like 3 nights in a row, and all of a sudden I was caught. I try to average like, okay, how many days do I have left, and how many fish do I need? Well, this caught me up and actually got me ahead, where I really thought I had a good shot about it in October. And I ended up, I think it was December the 4th when I got the 365.
That's impressive, man. So will we see a dawn of a new name, aka LG Tomcat? Huh?
I'm kicking it around. I'm leaning towards it. However, I do have a story to tell on that. I did agree during one of Aaron's 7P to 7A tournaments. Somebody, whoever was in chat, and they were talking, and they said, "Well, can you at least change your name for the tournament?" And I said, "Okay, you can call me LG Cats for today." And not more than 20 minutes later, I caught a 4-pound largemouth on a piece of cut bait. So I said, "The gods have spoken. I can't change it now." Honestly, I'm thinking about it, and I'm getting a little blowback from Michelle. She's used to the LGBASS, and she thinks it's a talking piece. so everybody will always comment on it and remember it. I said, well, if I'm not going to bass fish, if I'm not going to do it, which would mean selling my boat, and maybe seeing about getting a catfish boat, but why stick to it if I'm not going to be that anymore?
Yeah.
So, and the LGBASS actually has a dual meaning. The lake I live on is Lake Gaston, so LG bass, but it also stood for large bass. When I was looking for a specialty tag for my truck, and so I kind of thought that had a cool double meaning to it, and that's where that came from. And I still have the truck in the driveway. I got to put a new engine in it, but I think that was another sign that maybe it needs to change because the LG Bass is dead in the driveway.
Well, Mr. Gadget just made a good point. LG Bass Cats. I was sitting here thinking LG Bass and Cats. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities there, but I for one am loving LG Tomcats. I'm just saying.
There has been some talk. If there is some middle ground, I think Michelle is more into the LG Bass and Cats.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. We need to welcome Valerie Irwin into the show, Maurice Kaysen. Michelle's in there. It's all mine. John Patrick Jr. But most impressively of all, if this is Paula Smith says Happy New Year. She got to ring the bell.
Happy news.
So to me, that means that they have found that she is cancer free. And if that's the case, that is an awesome news. And congratulations, Paula. We're very happy for you. Real and Virtual Outdoors has made it in. Creole Catfishing. Downtown Ernie Brown. I seen Chrissy was in there a while ago, but I think you got her. And I think I'm caught up again. Dominic Hollis.
I seen my buddy Maurice gave me the angry face in chat, so I know he's here.
Heck yeah, man. I just wanted to make sure we didn't forget any of them, and that's a really awesome news about Paul. So we're thrilled.
Yeah, I had seen on Facebook that she was having her final treatment, so that was great to see.
Like I say, I got up this morning with no internet, and it come on at 5:00. I was getting ready to go into panic mode here in just a little bit before they got it going.
He thought he was going to have to let me turn loose by myself. He was just going to see it all burn up in flames.
Well, you never know. But if that's what we got to do, and that's why, in my mind, it's so important to have a co-host. You can call them a co-host. You can call them a backup. You can call them your partner in the show. You can call them whatever you want to. But if one guy can't be there and the other guy can, you got to let them roll.
That's right.
That's just the way it rolls. So, and we're happy to have you, and you guys keep hitting them thumbs up and subscribing, because that's the reason we have great guests like this, is because you guys feel interested enough to let us know that that's what you want, and that's what we're going to keep doing. SK is in the house. All right, Chad, I'm done.
Oh, you are perfectly fine.
Well, Chad, I had another name to throw out there. I've been bouncing around a couple of names, and this one didn't seem to get a whole lot of traction. I thought it was nice, but Tomcatting with LG.
I don't know if Michelle wants you putting something out there saying you're Tomcatting around. That doesn't bring in any good elements. I'm just saying, you've already got a lot of bad elements coming in. You don't need worse. I'm just saying.
The thing is that she wants me to fish. She welcomes me to fish. Matter of fact, she almost demands it. Just go fishing. But she knows where I am. I'm 300 yards down the street, from the dock. So, and she says, "I need you up here real quick. I can be up here in a minute." So.
Hey, I'd love to have a fishing spot that close, man. That would be amazing to be able to just basically walk down the street there, not even have to really break a sweat to get to your fishing spot. I mean, I'm a bigger fella. I'm going to sweat anyway, but.
Right. But, well, the only issue is it's a almost half or quarter mile straight downhill. It's very, very steep, which isn't bad going down. but
See,
isn't
that's how
very good.
I'd be calling Michelle or in my case, D. Hey, it's time. Come get me.
Yeah. Well, that's why she says, "Why do you need the Jeep?" I said, "Because I ain't walking up that hill carrying all this stuff."
I'd say, Michelle, do you remember that time when you said we should buy a pontoon and you wanted to tie a rope and let me pull you to a spot? It's the same thing. I'll do that if you will pull me behind the Jeep up the hill. I don't care how I get back to the house, but pull me up.
Yeah.
Oh, I see Mr. Tim Molina made it in. What's up, buddy? So, Tom, like you talked about how you was a bass fisherman for many, many years. So obviously you learned a lot of different fishing techniques and what to use, when and where and why and all that kind of stuff, bass fishing. What have you learned now in the last year and a half, 2 years of catfishing? And has any of that transferred over, or are you learning new stuff? What's up with all that?
I had to learn a lot. There's really no comparison to, bass fishing where you're always on the move and you're looking at structure and you're making quick, silent casts and you're getting in and you're getting out and how you set up on it. Bank fishing for the catfish is you throw it out there and you wait. And I had to learn that. I was like, the minute I saw my rod tip start to even bounce, I was jumping up out of the chair. Oh my God, I got a fish. And then I'd wait, and there would never, ever be a fish there. So that was kind of hard. The patience was probably the worst. And then I also didn't realize using the circle hooks that I couldn't just rear back and, try to rip his lips from, 75 yards out in the channel. I think I missed the first 10, 12 fish that I legitimately had on. And before I realized, well, maybe I should listen to some of these guys. Maybe I don't know it all.
Now, were you setting them like you would the whole side swipe you guys do in the bass community, or?
Yeah.
You weren't giving it the old. I guess maybe it's called the half life thrust or whatever he's doing now. Or?
Yeah, no, it's that. Was it Ernie the Hog Snatcher was doing how to set the hook the other night?
Oh yeah, I missed it.
He had a great video on that. That was awesome. But I was swinging for the fences, no doubt. And just with your bait being that far out, there's really no way you could really set a hook like that.
Oh yeah. So now, assuming you do decide to trade the boat in, I can't remember. You said you mainly fish Lake Gaston, right?
Gaston.
I don't know much about that lake or anything like that. But when you start learning how to drag baits, you might get back into a little bit of more what you're talking about, that structure and stuff like that. Maybe that'll help tune some of that in. What you were talking about. Yeah,
I think the thing, if I do end up quitting I have, let's just say, an enormous amount of gear, and I would have to get rid of it all. I'd probably have to go to like a swap meet or something and just put it out on the table. Everything goes.
Oh, you said gear.
Gear. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said beer. I was like, party at Tom.
You don't even drink.
Well, if it's free, I mean.
Yeah.
I have a whole walk-in closet that's full of nothing but shelving and baits, crankbaits. I have boxes that every crankbait is broken up, but every box has a different lure manufacturer in it. And when I have so many of them, I break them up by large, small, medium. I'd hate to think if we ever had a fire at this house, nobody would ever believe me when I made my insurance claim on how much gear I got sitting in this closet.
Well, I think Cindy can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably very true.
Well, I've got 7 rods. I've got 4 Mad Cats rods, 2 of the Muddy River Blue Cats, and the Flathead rod. And I only got 4 rod holders on the dock. So I really don't want more, but I just keep finding reasons why I need a new one.
Sounds to me like you need more rod holders.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's a community dock, right?
Right. Yeah.
I can
But
recommend some.
basically, you own it because you're the only one that really fishes.
No, there's some other guys that's actually how we got started. My son said, "Hey, you ought to come down the dock. Some of the other guys in the neighborhood, they fish at night. And they catch some big catfish." And one night we went to my son and I. He was 22 at the time, and he says, "Come on, let's go down there." And I think the second night we went down there, he caught a 44-pound blue, and then the next weekend he caught a 35-pound flathead off the dock. And I said, "I'm sold. Yep, I can do this."
Well, you can't quit fishing just because you reach a milestone of 50, whatever. I mean, you just start fishing. Although when you hit them 60s, it looks more like it all the time.
Well, yeah, Aaron was lucky enough he got a 61 off the dock this year.
No, I'm at 60 years of age.
Well, hey, I'm getting there. I'm getting there faster than I want to.
Yeah, but let me tell you about it. I can tell you all about that. But, it is what it is. I get asked a lot, and I know you have been doing a lot of bank fishing, and Chad doesn't do too much, but I get asked all the time, I don't want to get the boat out in this nasty weather and ice coming, snowstorms, different things. And so, well, why don't you go fish on a bank? Because if you slip and fall when it's this cold, something's going to give, and it's probably going to be a hip or a knee or a leg, and I'm not interested. And I seen, who was it? Your buddy, dang, got stuck in the mud down there. Oh, hell.
You talk about when Norm sunk to his knee?
No.
I know there was that one, but...
No. The guy you fished with...
My other one, his twin, J-Dog.
Yeah, his twin.
Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I get in a mess like that. There ain't no way I can get out.
Yeah.
There ain't no way. I don't have the strength anymore. My shoulders won't pull me through, and I'm just not going to get in a mess like that. Now, Dockery, on the other hand, the Mr. I catch all the crappie there is in every lake I go to, he gets in docks. Yeah, he's a little guy, just a little short guy. And I have actually found a couple of docks like that, but just too much stuff going on right at the moment for me to get over there and do it. Today would have been the perfect time to do it, and we just didn't go, So, but it's coming. I mean, spring's just around the corner, and regardless what Mark says about how cold it is in Chicago, it's only 51 here right now, so it's kind of brisk.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at later in the week. We're looking at up to like 60, so that'll be good for us. Maybe I'll get a chance to get out.
Not us. We're gonna have rain that changes to freezing rain all day Thursday, and then over to snow the day after. So.
Yeah, we got a couple 3 days coming in. It's going to start raining tomorrow and then rain all day tomorrow and changing to freezing rain and sleet for Wednesday. And then Thursday, I think back to rain. They're actually calling for 6-8 inches of snow. So we'll see how it works out. That'd be more than we've had in a couple of years. So, but one thing you guys can look forward to, once it leaves me, it's headed your way.
You can keep it over there in north.
No, it's all right. I'll pass. Thank you so much.
Well, this past weekend, the storm that blew through here, we didn't end up getting much of anything, but my dad and my sister still live in Massachusetts. They got 30 inches outside of Boston.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Man.
And then they asked me, they have the nerve to ask me, are you ever going to come home to live?
No.
I'm like, just look at that picture you just sent me. There's a good indication. No.
Chad, you need to check chat. Your brother's on you.
Oh my goodness!
Just so you know, Tom, why don't you tell everybody where it is that you do live for those of you that don't know where you're located at?
I'm located in South Central Virginia, off of Route 85. If anybody travels the highways, I live on Lake Gaston, which straddles the border of Virginia and North Carolina. And is connected to Kerr Lake, or Bugs Island Lake, as They call it, depend upon which state you live in. Each one has a different name.
Okay.
But the famous lake, they just caught 113 pounder in the Ice Bowl tournament this weekend.
That's awesome.
That was
I think Peter posted some pics on that, some footage. That was great.
Wow.
Yeah, I seen the video he posted of them putting it back in the water.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do with one that size.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do with it. Northeast Missouri Angler says they're expecting 12 to 17 inches of snow. That's right up there where your brother James lives. And I got to tell you, it'll be waist high on him if it's that much snow.
So Tom, you're about an hour away from the one tonner crew? Like
Yeah, but they live on. I live on would be the west end of Gaston. I'm not too far from the dam, but they live on the west end of Kerr, and Kerr is a bigger lake. But we usually fish a couple spots. It's about like a 30-minute ride for both of us. We meet in the middle kind of deal.
Okay.
Over there, and just some. Kerr Lake is a drawdown Army Corps of Engineers lake, so they fluctuate the water level, so there's no houses on it. You can't live anywhere near the shoreline because the water could come up and flood you. Or when the water goes down, your boat will be sitting in the mud. So there's a lot more opportunity to bank fish over there, which is why I started going over there. They were already going there when I met them. Here at Gaston, it's not run by the Army Corps. However, they have to maintain a level which cannot go a foot above or a foot below the mean level. So, for that reason, because everybody does have waterfront property and boat barns and all that. So our water stays pretty constant over here, unless we get a huge storm unexpected, which dumps a lot of water in. But there's a dam at the other end that runs into a little smaller lake, Roanoke Rapids Lake. So they just open that end up and let it all drain out. But this is the biggest until this summer. The North Carolina state record blue was caught here at 121.6, and then that was broken in the Roanoke River below us. Was 127.1 is the new North Carolina record.
That's awesome. Chad, do you have a comment for JP3?
What does he say? Top two screamers look like grandpa and grandpa. Well, I do. I am looking a lot younger. I mean, so wait a minute. He starts calling Mark my daddy. Me and him are going to fight. So Tom, I have to get with you because you may have a visitor in April if that's the case. So I'll have to get with you on this. The wife and I are maybe making our rounds around the Virginia Lake Kerr area. But,
awesome.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Okay, I won't tell. Okay, but you're more than welcome.
All right, I'll get with you in Messenger here very soon about that.
Cool, excellent.
The last world record was out of Kerr Lake.
It was 143 pounds.
Still find that hard to believe, but it is what it is.
I mean, wasn't the guy, I can't remember who it was now, and I've watched the video probably a dozen times where he caught the state record, had it certified, took it back to release it, and broke the state record again within 24 hours. That was
a great story. That's a great story.
That was actually on Gaston. That was Zach Roy. Yep.
Zach Roy.
Yep. It is. Yep. Swamp Diver Outdoors has made it. This is the first time I've seen him in here for some time. I'm glad to see you in here. And I can't answer your question why nobody guides on Wheeler at the end of August. But I can say that I got a hand towel from you. Oh, it must have been 2 or 3 years ago now. And I still got it in my camera bag. Great product. You should continue making those. Whoops, Freddie's got something to say. Ha, Chad, I may see Tom this weekend. Oh, boy.
Yeah. He heard about my trip and made a hurry-up scheduled Hail Mary throw trip up, and he's always going to try to beat me to everything.
Are you saying he's like your brother James?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. Sounds good, Mr. Gadget.
Oh, we have more notes in our chat.
Yeah, I got another message, and it's a good topic that needs to be brought up tonight since Tom's on here. So let's switch gears to you and losing bets and the runway wall, in which I have to say, Tom, you were by far my favorite. I was actually watching it, and I gave the other guys like 4s and 5s when they did it, but you were a 9.9, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Pretty good.
You know, that was an interesting night. Art was in the chat with Jody, and I was at the end of the dock when that all was said, and I didn't realize what they were doing. And when I came back and Art told me, I was like, well, this is a sucker's bet. We ain't going to, like I just got through saying, you know, we only catch like 1 fish an hour. We're not going to catch 4 fish in an hour with only 4 rods. I said, we might as well just say we lost. And sure enough, we did. And it was, I'm not one to throw myself out there like that and fun like that. And I was nervous. It was like, I was like, I don't really know how to dance. I don't know when I started walking down there, I had no idea what I was going to do, you know, and it's like the whole time I was like, please, let's just get this over with. And I got down there and I said, well, you know what, this ain't so bad. Yeah. I think something I want to do again, but it turned out all right.
You were a good sport, and I enjoyed it. I really did. It was humorous and fun. Nothing to be ashamed of. You got better moves than my big old behind would ever do.
John Parker's one surprised me.
I think, John Parker has some skills. He might get down there on the dock and show you guys what's up.
Yeah, we're trying to get him out here too. He's got an open invitation. It's just that the fishing is, you know, I don't want to bring him out here when the fishing isn't, you know, hot. You know, I want him to come here and really enjoy himself and have a blast.
That'd be a lot of fun. John's a good guy.
Yep.
I will. Yeah, he can't be that far from you.
Nah, he's about an hour, maybe hour, 15 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But you know, I appreciate you saying that I was the best one, but I got to be honest. I thought Kenneth was the best. I thought that was hysterical.
I like that. Tom killed it with the Hulk Hogan moves.
Well, that was kind of my emphasis for like Kenneth went before me and I went last. I'm like, if Kenneth can do it with a walker, I can do this.
There you go. So since you've been out there fishing, I know you fish a lot with Aaron from Catfish Regulators, and you guys occasionally fish with some other folks down there. But again, Tom is relatively new to the catfish world. You know, he's really only been targeting them for about 2 years. I'm sure you've done some fun fishing in the past, but so I would say, you know, what's your biggest ones that you've caught so far from the dock or anywhere you've been fishing?
The biggest blue was caught off the dock, and it was on a live with Josh and Art. It was a 52.5-pound blue. My biggest flathead was caught over at Kerr last March, and that was 35 pounds.
Well, I can say, Tom, that you know, within 2 years, you surpassed a lot of people that have fished catfish their whole lives. You know, looking for fish. So those are some amazing fish in my book.
I think I'm blessed, and like I said, the 2 fisheries that I have side by side here, you know, are just phenomenal catfish lakes. And I didn't grow up catfishing. In Massachusetts, they had what we called horn pout, and basically they're black bullheads. And if they got to like 1.5 pounds, those were big. You know, they were more of a nuisance when you were trying to catch something else. You know, when you're using a bottom, you know, using a worm or something, and you'd catch one and trying to get it off without getting stabbed when you were a little kid. You know, they weren't something I looked forward to. And when I was bass fishing, I've caught some decent flatheads. bass fishing in shallow water on the edges of dock pilings and with soft plastic scented baits. I think I've caught several that were 12 to 14, 15 pounds. And I was like so excited, at that time, and this goes back years, but I got a big one. And I'm reaching for the net behind me and I'm all excited. And I said, I got a huge bass. And then I see that head come up and at the time it was sheer disappointment. I mean, I was still happy to catch a big fish, but it wasn't the fish I was looking for.
That happens a lot. I've seen a lot more than I realized with bass fishermen catching flatheads and stuff on bait.
Yeah, I think they're drawn to the scent. Now I know in the Potomac River, you can catch the blues up there on like crankbaits and spinner baits and all these bass lures. But down here, the only ones I've caught were on soft plastics on a jig. But that's something interesting. Like you have a half-ounce rattle trap with 2 treble hooks, and you got a 10, 15-pound blue swinging around on it. That's interesting, and how to get that off without getting stuck.
Yeah. So I was wanting to switch gears now too. Actually, you do a weekly show now with Pontoon Jody catfishing on Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Called Dock Tales.
Yep.
So, one, what got you started with wanting to move in that direction and start one up? But two, I love this question from Laura, and I already know as soon as I said there's a possibility in April that you'll have DNI out there that this is the answer to it.
It has to be.
Who would your ultimate Doc's guest be?
I'll have to think about that one for a minute because I don't want to leave nobody out. I've had some great people here. Matt from Wannabe Outdoors.
I'm coming in April.
Chris and Telly were here. Mike Chavez has been here.
in April.
Yep. But Laura the Explorer was here. Jody's been here. So we pretty much got an open door to whoever wants to come fish with us.
Well, dream big. I mean, Uncle Si from Duck Dynasty, Larry the Cable Guy. I mean, dream big.
That's tough.
Well, while you're thinking about it, what made you want to start up Dock Tales? Because it's a little bit different too. It's not just about the fishing. You talk a lot about bologna. I know that.
Yes. To be honest, I didn't want to start a channel. Really? After Jody had been here, Jody's been here twice. And after she left the first time, we got to chatting. And she said, how would you like to help me do a show? And said, we can do it on, my channel or your channel or whatever. And I was like, well, okay, I'll help you. And the next night she had, we already had a guest. She had a guest lined up. She had a thumbnail made up. It was turned out to be John and Dana Parker. And it was on my channel. So I went from not having a channel, not even thinking to it in 36 hours to having a channel and being the host of it. It's been an adjustment. I'm not good with all the computer equipment, and I still have an issue. Michelle, when we're live, Michelle goes in the other room and shuts the door so there's no interference, so she can watch the show. And I can hear her yelling through the door, "You missed a comment! You missed a comment!" So I have a hard time when things are rolling. Yeah. And then the other thing is learning how not to talk over people. And when somebody stops talking, I should wait longer before I start. But I hate that silence. It's like, oh my God, somebody should be saying something. And that's just my little problem I got to deal with.
I have to say, I hear those comments from the other room. And I have actually begged my wife to come in here and sit with me, and she used to. she would sit beside me and hand me notes of stuff I missed, which was a constant inflow.
Yeah.
And that was okay. But she goes on Chad's show and goes live and does the whole show.
Yeah.
And don't even tell me it's going to happen.
Oh, really? We're going to end this on a fight?
No. I'm just
And ladies,
giving grief.
I see you do a great freaking job watching the chat because you highlight all these ones that I don't want highlighted, like what Brian B said earlier.
But Brian B's my buddy.
Well, good for you.
Tara Blackburn's in chat tonight. And Brian B. And Roger. And Small Town Outdoors. And Uncle Josh. G Style. They're still coming in. There's a great question right here, Tom. What size catfish you classify as an eater?
probably nothing bigger than about 8 pounds, 7-8 pounds maybe.
Okay.
And those are easy to get here. So
yeah,
we have a good population of the blues. But we have a lot of the smaller channels. The biggest channel I think that we've caught off the dock in the 2 years now has only been like 7 pounds. So they just don't get very big here.
My thoughts on that is we have on the lakes around me and the surrounding rivers that dump into it, tributaries. Truman, Lake Ozark, they have a slot limit, and you could keep 10 up to 26 inches. And then you can have 2 over 34. Now, personally, I see no reason to keep those big ones like that when you can have 10 of the smaller ones, because they're so overpopulated with small fish. They want you to keep as many of them as you legally can and eat those. And they're by far better eaten anyhow.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
So I think that is the correct way to do things. If you have a slot, or if you have an area where you can keep smaller fish and larger fish, make it worth your while. If you want to downgrade the amount of small fish in your lake, then make it to where you can keep more of them. And that's what Missouri has done. And I'm glad they've done that.
Yeah.
No. I think I'm with you there, Tom, on that. About 8 pounds on blue cat, but like even with the channel cats, because they're relatively a lot smaller, I like them 2 to 5 pounders on those.
Here's a neat concept. Swamp Diver says, hold the fish under his side fins, and if the tail touches your elbow, eating. I've never heard that before, but that's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fish? Oh, favorite fish. It keeps moving on me. Favorite fishing themed song.
I'm gonna miss her. Brad Paisley.
That's a great one. I wouldn't have thought about that one, but I like that.
I kind of like My Baby Loves to Fish.
Yeah.
I like that real well.
Oh,
I can tell you that D's is no longer takedown by Has, because I would not shut up this weekend down in Bama. Every 5 minutes, I was like, waiting on a takedown. I'm like, will you shut up? She's like, oh, you better hope I never meet Has.
Speaking of Has, he has joined us in chat. Welcome, buddy. We're glad to see you in here. You know what? I got a couple of giveaways. Why don't we start them while we keep going with Tom?
Go right ahead and get that set up, sir.
It is set up. How about we start sharing
you are a men among men.
Well, you're doing your job, and it gives me time to do other stuff.
Well, that's good. It's about time I do something around here. So,
that's
Tom, while he's getting ready to do that,
what we got is 2 D&L sinker snake weights, 2 ounce.
Ooh. Which kind is it?
D&L sinker snake weights, 2 ounce.
Oh, cool.
Did you not get to see them? Did I not hold them up there long enough? How's that?
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at good, great job, sir. Great job.
Chad, I have an answer to the question now. I know who the person is I want to fish with the most.
Yep. Go ahead.
Mrs. Catfish Regulators.
Oh, there you go.
That's not what I was. That's not what I was expecting, Tom.
There's your
yeah, I like-
keywords.
Miss Lisa's moving across the country to come be down this way with us and with
That's
Aaron,
right.
and I'm looking forward to meeting her. We've talked a lot, and it'll be great to see her for the first time, and maybe we'll just get her on a couple
Now,
of fish.
You notice that Lyle did not highlight. Oh, sorry, Lyle, but you have to highlight this one.
Oh, missed it.
This was what the hashtag should have been. Great,
Dockery done went to bed too, so it's just
great comment, Mr. Murillo.
I don't know how all this got started, but we sure have a good time with it.
Yep.
Oh, looky here. Ain't this sweet?
All right, we got them coming in there. There we go. That's right. So, yeah, Lisa will be up there when we come around that way. So we'll get to meet Lisa as well.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So, Tom, while we're waiting on people to drop this hashtag in here so that they can win these here drifting weights, what's the future of LG Tomcat's channel?
Well, I need to start making some videos if I want the channel to grow. I think I've gone about as far as I can go. I'm up to, I think, 310 or 311. And a lot of that has come since I had like 200 before we started the show. So I picked up another 100, but it seems to be pretty steady right there. I have, I guess I'll say it. I have a mug collection throughout the catfish community. And I spent yesterday, Michelle and I, taking pictures of all of the mugs, and we're going to try to do a little, I don't know if it'll be a short or just a small video showing my support for everybody in the community. I want to show everybody's mug.
Do you mean
I need one of those.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug here, Mr. LGBASS. But there is a new Fields to Water mug on the Teespring account. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I think did I order that? I know I got the hooked on.
I just made this one like a week or two ago. I just now started doing that with the new channel.
You should have the one for D above all.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because, let's face it, who wouldn't rather have D stuff than Chad?
Yeah, I mean, she catches all those big fish.
That's right. Yeah. How we doing on stuff, Chad? Have we got, how many we got in there?
Looks like we got 58. There seem to have slowed down. If you want in on this, go ahead and hurry up and drop that.
Yep, we'll
give it about 1 more minute. Say at 8:55, we roll it.
But I got one more to do.
All right.
Well, Chad, I got a little something to tell you.
What's that, buddy?
When you were at Wiley, we pulled in just behind you, and you were getting your vehicle, and Dee was, tied up at the ramp down there. And I said, "Man, I heard you guys caught some great fish." And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Tell me the truth, Dee. Tell me the truth. Who caught them?" And she didn't say a word. She didn't say, but she got the biggest grin on her face. It was priceless.
Remember, I am her captain. Lyle, I say we go ahead and roll this one.
Before I make this public, here we go. 63 entries.
Bless your hearts.
Catfishing with the cause. Cause, just send me a message after the show tonight. And please, if you guys, when you win stuff, make sure that you message us so we can get this stuff to you. It's a lot easier if you do it within a day or so instead of waiting a week or so and then saying, "Hey, on such and such show, I won this and that," because I am not going to remember. And tell me in the message what you won. Like these are DL sinkers, 2 ounce, just like that. Very simple and easy, and we will get them right out to you. And Chad, I'm going to do another one. I'll put that up while you and Tom continue on, and then we'll.
All right, you go ahead and do that, sir.
Yep.
And we will talk about again what you were just saying, that yes, Miss D may have had the biggest grin because she did catch some monster great fish on there. But without her captain and guide, she would never have gotten to catch those beautiful, wonderful big fish. Right? I mean, I'm the one that has taught her how to fish.
Yeah.
And it's always good when the student becomes the master.
You have taught her very well.
That I have. She's doing a great job.
Hey, can I throw out a plug there for a second?
Absolutely.
Since Cause just won that drawing, she's going to be going live tomorrow, I believe, for the very first time by herself. Sometime during the daytime, I believe. So if you see her out there, come on in, show her some support.
I will see, depending on what time, if I can make that. People at work may be on my last nerve, and I might just go ahead and say I'm done. Start watching YouTube.
Here's the next giveaway. What we have is DL's Big River rig. It's a 4-ounce weight with what appears to be a 10-aught circle hook and a 3-inch float. And it's actually green and black 4-ounce weight in there. I know with that green screen it's hard to see, but that's what you're going for this time. So get
her in there.
Hashtag Big River Rig.
Big River Rig. Whew.
Come on, say it 3 times real fast.
Nope, because that'll turn into something we don't want to be on this channel. Anyway, so Tom, you going to try to make it down to Wiley again this year?
Yeah. As far as I know, our boat captain, David, Slime Slingers, he said he's in for it. Aaron and I fished with him last year. So if for some reason he can't go, we don't have a boat. So with the limited bank space, we probably won't make it for that. But
right.
As of now, we're planning on going.
Awesome. So, when are we going to start seeing Michelle in the down on the docks and stuff with you more often?
Yeah, she really doesn't like the fishing all that much. She follows it. She listens to the shows at night. She loves listening to everybody. She can walk into the room and she knows people by voice now. From the other room. So she's really enjoying it, and she's getting in some of the chats and stuff, but I don't think she really has any interest in the fishing side of it.
Do I see right? L. Stan Perez has made it to chat.
Mr. L. Stan.
Somebody said, "Hey, Chunky." I haven't seen him personally in there.
Don't know. I didn't see him, but I was listening and talking. Yep, there he is. I see him.
Glad to have you in here, L. Stan.
Hey, Chunky.
Van, I think we said hello to him earlier. Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. I think you said hello to him. Avid. Parker. I know you got Parker earlier. 2 stands.
Yeah.
What is this? I'm going to stay up at the house and talk cooking with Michelle next time I'm there. Well, that's okay, Tom. That way you can catch all the fish.
Yeah, last time Stan was here, he did. Her and Michelle and Stan, they had a huge, a long conversation. I just sitting here listening to them talking about cooking and techniques and pans and it was fun just listening to them.
Chunky, you know how fast that chat moves, and I can't see it all. And Chad don't pay any attention none.
Yeah, that's right. I'm still waiting for Chunky to say hello to me from 2 lives ago when he stole the boat. Found that boat.
If I don't see you in there, dude, you got to say step it up, because I miss a lot of them. Hence why we have a co-host.
Oh, now I'm already getting blamed, Tom.
No. Oh, and
can't we just blame Mark or Dockery?
We can.
Okay.
Did we say hello to Matt tonight? From
I don't remember, so
I don't remember, but we're going to right now. So thank you. I know we got Creole and Jody and Mike Irwin and Roger and Stan and Maurice Kaysen and all them guys, and we don't want to miss anybody if we can keep from it. There's Jay Fox Hunter. So we're trying to get all that doing. How are we doing on our draw? We're up to what, 60?
From what I can see, it looks like
69.
60. Yes. We got
Says
107 people in here. Let's make sure you
70.
drop that.
We're just gonna go one more minute because we got to turn it over. And why don't you tell us again tonight who Mark's guest is on the Catfish and Crappie podcast, Chad?
All right. He has, I just padded up. It's Kristen. If I can type here, there we go.
Oh, come on.
I forgot. There it is. We have Christina Lemke on his podcast tonight. She, I know, does Instagram and some other stuff with Woman of the Woods and Waters. It's another female angler with nice, awesome flathead in the thumbnail. So looks to be a really good angler.
I have one other thing that I want to say off topic that has nothing to do with our great guest tonight, but Betty and Brandon's son's back in the hospital with some issues. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but he's got a little blood clot in his leg, and they're trying to get that taken care of. And the boy has went through a bunch of stuff, so please keep that whole family in your thoughts and prayers, because it's a 16-year-old boy, and he's got his entire life ahead of him, and we really want him to get better and get healed up. I thought he was doing really good, but deals like this come and go with different things that go on, and I know that Betty and Brandon will appreciate it, and Bub will too. And they're a great group of people, and he's just too young to be going through all this.
Sorry, Tom. I didn't realize we was covering your face there. Take that.
Oh, I didn't. You must have done that, because I'm sure I didn't. We haven't got any more entries, so what do you say we roll it?
I would go with it.
I did.
903. So.
Yep. I got 803, but
well,
I'm on
903 in God's time.
Catfish and Fever Outdoors. Lynn, send me a message after the show. We'll hook you up. Thank you so much for being in chat tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you in here. Tom, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a great show, and it's a lot of fun having you on here.
Thank you very much. I've had a blast.
Well, I'm glad you did, and we'll need to do it again real soon and get you back on here. We had Jody here a while back. Maybe we can get you guys on as a pair sometime, and I'm sure Chad will have something smart to say so he can get one of the other of you mad at the other one.
What? I would never. But tune in Thursday night where Pontoon Jody will be on the bait shop. We can go ahead and get that started.
That will be fun.
Hey, can I just throw out who our guest is this week?
You
exactly
can.
Definitely can.
Say Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. DMV Whisker King will be on Cocktails.
I've had him as a guest on our show. He's a lot of fun. Fun. High energy guy. You guys will have a blast. It'd be a great show for you, and looking forward to that.
Excellent.
All right. Chad, what else you got before we close her out?
I have, let's see what we got here. We've got, I already said Pontoon Jody on Thursday night. Do you guys have a guest on Panfish Nation Thursday night?
I don't think so yet.
And so it'll be Doctor. They're starting to look so much alike at their age. It'll be Mark and Lyle Thursday night on Panfish Nation. I think Muskrat has Nautical Pride Fishing tomorrow night. We got Wednesday night. We got Patriot James. So go over and check all these fine folks out, and obviously Mr. LGBASS, who will soon hopefully change his name to LG Tomcat. Sell the boat, get him a catfish boat, and get out there on that water and take Michelle out. So
that'd make me a nice crappie boat, wouldn't it?
That probably would make you a nice crappie boat. I can hear Cindy yelling from the other room here in any second. Now.
Thanks again, Tom. Be sure to tune in Monday
you.
night. We'll be back here next Monday night with some more giveaways, and we'll try to have another quality guest for you. Thank you guys so much for watching us tonight, and we'll see you next trip around.